I released a time-coded light show just a few months ago, and many people seem to be interested in this particular effect. So I call this a position sweep, which is just a random name I gave to those kind of effects. And because it's so cool looking and so easy to achieve at the same time, I decided to make a very quick little video on how to achieve it. So let's hop into the MA. And first of all, I will off all those background effects. Basically, all I'm doing is I'm changing the positions of my beams with a very specific set of delay time. And the first position we have looks like this. And everything you see except the dimmer value. So all the color, all the beam and the zoom information is stored into my main timecode queue list. And all I'm doing is I changed the position from the beam frame position, which is what you're seeing, to the beam out position. So that's all that's happening. And you can tell by just changing between those positions that it's looking really cool. But the magic, so to say, is to do it with a very specific delay timing. And for this, I make use of those 4 macros that I got, and they're really simple. They're really basic macros, but they help with the workflow to stick delay times into the programmer so much that I'm looking forward to share them with you. First of all, let's clear out the programmer. I will just show you how I do it, and then we will have a brief look into those macros. Okay, so let's start on this upper left wing of beams, and I will select them from left to right. Remember, selection order in MA matters, so always be very conscious about the direction in which you're selecting the lights. And I will make the dimmer to 100% and put this position preset in. And then I just stick in the delay time I want to have, in this case 0 through 0.3. So it's not just one delay time, but a set of delay times or a range of delay times. Hit enter, and then I just hit the delay dimmer macro and the delay position macro. This information we have in the programmer now, I will store into an executor, clear out the programmer, and assign this as a go executor. So let's have a short look in Capture how this looks. Okay, so that's basically the main thing I'm doing. Let's have a short look into those macros. So all I'm doing is I'm setting a delay time with this macro. Whatever I put in this dialog box here is stored into a user variable, and whatever is stored in the user variable is put into the programmer by hitting those macros. And I can put the delay time that I've entered here to the preset type dimmer, to the preset type position, or to preset type color. So for example, I can set a delay time of 5 seconds. Let's select those beams, make the dimmer on, and hit delay dimmer. And when we look into the delay layer of my programmer, you can see we've entered the 5 seconds here. Or I can do 0 through 5, delay dimmer, and you can see it's now in the programmer. So that's all it's doing. Let's have a look into those macros. The first macro just sets a variable by setVar, a user variable, and I call it delay time, but obviously you can call it however you like. You can tell that it's a user variable by the $sign in front of it, and this term here basically is the dialog box that opens up when hitting the macro, which says set delay time. In our case, as I said, we want a delay range of 0 through 0.3. It's always in seconds. And the delay dimmer macro just says preset type dimmer add delay, and then it puts in the user variable or whatever is stored in it. Okay. Same for delay position. It's preset type position add delay, delay time, user variable delay time, and delay color, preset type color add delay, user variable delay time. So it's as easy as a macro can be, basically, but it's just super handy and just improves my workflow on delay times so much. It's really useful. Okay, so let's continue with our position sweep. And we've stored the first wing here. So let's continue with the next wing, upper right wing. Now I'm selecting the fixtures from right to left because selection order matters. Make the dimmer to full, hit this position, and set delay time 0 through 0.3. I think I already have done this, but just to be sure, I'll put it in again. And I hit delay dimmer, delay position, store it into our queue, and we'll store merge it. And I off it, and we will have a quick look in capture. That's what we got. So let's continue programming. We continue with this wing, select the fixtures, add full, beam out, delay dimmer, delay position, and store merge it into the queue. Continue with those, selecting in the right order, 100%, beam out, delay dimmer, delay position, and store merge it in. Clear out, I'm offing the executor just to have one more look at it, to capture. And as you can see, that's basically the main thing that's happening. So it's just a change of those two positions with a delay time or a range of delay times from 0 to 0.3 seconds. Now what we need to do is we need to off the lights again. And I do this in this exact same order with the exact same delay times. And you do not have to do this store merge thing that I did earlier. You just can continue to stick values into the programmer. So I will do this now, and you will see how quick I am with my delay macros. So selecting them at 0, delay dimmer. Selecting at 0, delay dimmer. Selecting 0, delay dimmer, and selecting at 0, delay dimmer. So now everything stored in, or it's not stored, it's put into the programmer, and I will store it into my executor. This time I will create a second queue, clear out, off it again, and we have a look. First queue and second queue. And you might have seen that there's something wrong with the positions. The problem is, I guess, that I do not have tracking enabled. Right. So basically, let's hop into MA again. Basically, I haven't stored any position values into the second queue. So what you've seen was that the positions faded, or the position of the lights faded back to the default value, which is not what I want for the second queue. I want the position values of the first queue being tracked into the second queue. So it's very important that, you have the tracking feature of this executor enabled. And now it should look right. I'll off it again. So this is our first queue, and this is our second queue. That looks good. There's just two last steps we have to do. I do not want to trigger the second queue manually, but I want to have it triggered by time. So I changed the trigger mode to time. You have to fiddle around with the exact timings of those things. For me, I found that 0.4 seconds works best, but it really depends on the situation, and you just have to fiddle around with it. And the very last thing is I changed the mode of the second queue to a release queue, so that after all the delay times of the second queue are there, the whole executor is going to be released. All right. I'll off it one last time, because from now on the executor will off itself. And we have a look. So it's so simple and it's so cool looking. I really hope that this little tutorial helped you out and you liked it. If you liked it, feel free to subscribe to my channel and leave me a like, and see you next time.